So this Ellen DeGeneres thing just continues to get weirder. So Ellen DeGeneres recently started making headlines again, even though television in general is in a weird state of affairs right now. So Ellen DeGeneres sent out an apology to her entire staff that was picked up by media, where she apologized for a toxic work environment, blah, 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 blah. The gist of what's coming out of this and what I want to talk about is this idea that she's mean, that she is difficult to work with, that she can be, I believe, she was referred to as a monster by one person. And so that's now got her in a load of heat, both with social media circles as well as, from what I can understand, people in the inner circle of the Ellen DeGeneres show. Now, there's information that's out there today. News stories have been shared, quotes have been made, and they're saying that at this point, there's no plans to remove Ellen DeGeneres from her own show. However, it is on Twitter right now. It's actually trending, hashtag replace Ellen. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background in case you didn't see any of this stuff going on. So this is an article I found on Fox Business. Now, I'm going to actually reference Fox Business quite a few times here. We're going to get back to that article in a minute. But so now, Brad Garrett was the one, I think, that referenced her being a monster. But Lee Thompson jumped on board and backed up what she had to say. I'm going to leave the links to anything I show here on the screen down in the description below. But basically, she sends this letter out to her staff apologizing, and then when it comes out in social media circles, Brad Garrett, who jumps on and says, "Sorry, but it comes from the top at the Ellen DeGeneres show. No more than one who was treated horribly by her. Common knowledge. Ellen DeGeneres sends an emotional apology to staff." And then Lee Thompson later says, "True story, it is." So there's a lot of stories coming out of the woodworks now from different people that are making comments on this. I think one person, there was something else in here where somebody said, it's the thing in Hollywood right now is that, you made it in Hollywood if you've been treated poorly on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Okay, so that's great. Surprise, surprise, somebody in Hollywood that is famous and powerful is an asshole. I guess in this case, I don't understand why we are so surprised by all this. Why all of a sudden there's this push to be, let's be honest. We call it the cancel culture, right? It's this idea that if somebody that owns a business, or somebody that is a political figure, or somebody that is a popular, pop culture icon, that they can be taken down by the masses through social media, boycotts, whatever the case may be, to influence the people that really make the decisions to replace those people. We saw it a lot with the Me Too movement for obviously good reason. We saw it, with a lot of the, stock market manipulation stuff that happened during the 2008 recession in our industries. So, is this a good thing, right? That's the question to ask. It actually is asked. Forbes did an article on this, and they discuss in here how the way we see celebrities has changed. And this was the other thing I was talking about before. When you move to LA, the first two things that happen are you get a parking ticket, and someone that once worked for Ellen will tell you a story about how she's a monster. Dan Sheehan is the one that wrote this. So I think what we're doing right now, and here's the article I was talking about right here. I think what we're doing right now is that we are, as humans, as citizens, as the population of the United States, we are taking back control in some of these environments for generations now. Going back to the heyday of Hollywood, we have lifted up celebrities, even politicians, but definitely our movies and television celebrities. We have lifted them up and treated them almost like our American royalty, because we don't have royals in the same way that the British do. And so we lift them up as our proxy as celebrities, and they are untouchables. They can do no wrongs. They trend set and all that kind of stuff. And I have always thought that was garbage. I understand their role in society. I understand why their popularity is the way that their popularity is, and why they achieve what they achieve. And oftentimes they have a voice and they have a message that comes along with them. Now, we have seen, to get slightly off the topic here, we have seen in recent years a strong push by people generally in the conservative circles, Republicans, if you will, that get upset because celebrities will go onto award shows and during their acceptance speeches will make a dramatic statement that is often progressive in nature. And so people on the right get all pissed off. Oh, shut up! You just go act, right? And then we've seen it on the flip side with the athletes that start to have any kind of a message. We see it especially Fox News pundits. Laura Ingraham has been famous for telling LeBron James, I believe it was, just go shoot the ball, because he decided to make a statement that was to her offensive to her ideologies and the method and knowledge of what she's trying to accomplish with her politics. So we, as a collective, I think, are starting to take that back a little bit. And there's going to be pushback. These things always swing in a pendulum. You saw the same thing with the Me Too movement. You take a few people that it took just a couple of people to fabricate or embellish stories, and the whole movement lost steam. And it can happen with this thing too. I mean, in this case, Ellen could be the sacrificial lamb. I mean, you can go to YouTube and look up news people behaving poorly, or television stars off camera acting horribly. They're all over. It's been part of that culture for longer than we could possibly imagine. But for whatever reason, I think in the midst of this pandemic, in the midst of what's going on, and the fact that everybody is upset and everybody feels pressured and everybody feels trapped and everybody feels scared, we're starting to act out in unconventional ways. We're starting to attack our celebrities. The other thing we're doing, which I have talked about on this channel before, the other thing that we are doing, which blows my mind, is we are grabbing on to conspiracy theories. That is the other thing. So in my social media circles, I have a number of people that continue to promote and propagate these conspiracy theories. The one that I didn't do any video on this, and I really don't want to, that's not what I'm bringing this up for right now for the purpose of this, but Wayfair and Amazon got themselves embroiled in a conspiracy theory. The idea being that on Wayfair and also on Amazon, there was an inexplicable number of very, very high-priced items. The theory, the running conspiracy theory, is that this is part of a child trafficking ring for pedophiles. Now, I did a story just the other day on Jeffrey Epstein and everything that's gone around with his child sex trafficking ring, and the conspiracy theories people among us. I don't want to use any derogatory terms, but the people that really propagate this stuff gravitate to this idea that if you find an armoire or a cabinet on Wayfair that costs $10,000, that the idea is that some wealthy elite billionaire, trillionaire that wants a small child will buy this armoire for $15,000, and when that armoire gets delivered or doesn't get delivered, they actually get a child instead, and they get ownership of this child as a sex slave. That's the running conspiracy. Now, of course, I'm muddying it up and talking about it very, very loosely and very high level. But that's the idea. So Ellen got herself wrapped up in this. This was the first article that accidentally popped up here. I don't know why we got videos playing. You be quiet. So Wayfair, she has a line, and a lot of celebrities do. She had a pillow that was selling for $10,098. So of course, all the wackadoos were out there saying, Ellen, are you involved in the conspiracy? Are you trafficking in children? Okay, now this one This one is nonsense. The Wayfair thing has already been debunked. The Amazon thing has already been debunked. But the fact is that it still has legs. I mean, this speaks to a much more broader problem that we have right now. This idea that the conspiracy theory people do not listen to reason. You can tell them all day long that Bill Gates is not trying to insert a microchip in their vaccine for COVID when it comes, but they won't believe you. You can tell them all day long that COVID-19 was not created in a laboratory in Wuhan, China, and then shipped to the U.S. as part of some underlying idea to destabilize our economy. But no matter how much you tell them, they won't believe you. And that's the problem with conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories, especially in times like right now when we have COVID-19, conspiracy theories are our pseudo-religion. For the same reason why ancient man started to create the concept of religion and the concept of gods. It was in order to use our intelligence as humans to explain the unknown, to explain the unexplainable, to make us feel safe that there is some intelligent, powerful entity controlling everything. So for ancient man that was terrified of being eaten by a lion or of having fire suddenly sprout up and they couldn't explain these things, they used an omnipotent god creature or multiple gods to explain the creation of all these things, to explain away the danger, so that they felt like, okay, at least if there's an intelligence involved, we are safe. Or if not safe, at least there's a guiding force. In the times of COVID, with people losing their jobs left and right and people dying in large numbers and everybody concerned about getting sick and what comes next and our whole lifestyles being upended and changed, people need to believe that there is some intelligent, albeit in this case possibly evil, but there's an intelligence at work making all this stuff happen. They need to believe that in order to feel some semblance of safety. And the truth is, this is just how life works. A virus is a life, much like we are. It's just simpler, but it has no nefarious intent. It's turned our entire world upside down. My life is very different than it was, in some ways better, but it's very different. But these people that live in perpetual fear need to grab onto something to feel at least a semblance of safety or understanding. But I think what we're doing is that some people are gravitating toward conspiracy theories, and some people are just mad. And so what they're doing is they're taking it out right now on people like Ellen. I hate to say it, there are assholes all over Hollywood, I'm sure of it. There are assholes in the news. There are assholes in politics. People with power, real power, people with power are not these wonderful, kind, generous people by nature. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's a very famous quote, and it's the reality of life. And Ellen DeGeneres is the biggest thing in daytime talk. So am I shocked that she's an asshole? Not even slightly. But she still entertains millions of people and makes them very happy. So you have the choice to not work for somebody like that. There's not stories of Ellen DeGeneres walking through the streets of Hollywood kicking homeless people. We're talking about her being mean to her staff. Now, should we live in a society that has comfortable, kind working environments? Yes, of course. That would be wonderful. Unfortunately, it's not the reality. And the thing is, a place like Hollywood, or Burbank, where most television is shot, a place like that, or Studio City, a place like that, generally, their culture is generational in its own way. And this is just the way things have been. Can it be changed? Sure. Does Ellen DeGeneres need to be the sacrificial lamb? It's not my place to say. I just have a shitty opinion, and I'm sharing it with you today. Hey, we're starting another week here. It's Monday. I want to thank everybody who is continuing to participate. Even all you people that think I'm an idiot, even all you people that think I'm a hack, even all you people that think my channel is dead, news for you. My channel is actually just starting. 2 weeks ago, I had less than 35 subscribers, and now I should cross 200, hopefully today. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Smash that like button. Also, subscribe to my channel if you wouldn't mind. I really am trying to grow this. I'm taking a different tack with my channel. I hope you like basically just me spewing my opinions. None of this is fact-based, if you will. I'm not a news reporter, and I'm certainly not trying to change the minds of people on the other side of things. I didn't talk about a whole lot of politics today, even though I referenced Fox News. You're welcome. But let me know what you think below. Do you think Ellen DeGeneres is involved in conspiracy theories? Do you think I'm an asshole for saying that they're not real? Or do you think there's a place in Hollywood for assholes, and that sometimes people that run companies or sometimes people that run TV shows, sometimes they're just assholes? Let me know what you think below. I appreciate it. Share the video if you want as well. And I will see you tomorrow on another episode of the Daily Octane. Have a good day, everybody.